Sports, Rachel Hill.
Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Rachel Hill. You are listening to her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. Man, it's a crazy day, but that's okay. I got my boy with me. I got Marshawn Powers in studio with me, and I got Cleveland Kate through StreamYard. You can always watch us through StreamYard. Cleveland Kate, what's up with you? How you doing today? How you feeling?
I'm fine.
You okay?
I'm fine.
You okay?
I'm a lot of words that start with the letter F. I will just say I'm fine. I survived 1 in 31. I can survive until JOK is back, until Chubb is back, until Hunt is back. I don't know what's up with Baker. I'm gonna be fine. I'll be fine.
Marshawn, how you doing today?
For a lack of better terms, I'm upset. My expectations weren't met, so I'm a little upset. I'm a little teed off today about my Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Kate, could you hear Marshawn?
Oh, I heard him. He's absolutely right. We were promised something and it ain't been delivered.
Absolutely not.
What were we promised?
Better than that trash we watched yesterday.
Well, first of all, Kate, you should know
we
better.
are now in the bottom of our division, Rachel.
I know. Well, Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, but
they all won yesterday.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh got an easy schedule coming up. They play us after the Broncos. So
Isn't Pittsburgh 3-3 though?
Yeah.
So we're above them based on name.
It ain't about name. It's about culture. They
alphabetical order don't count, Rachel.
We haven't created a culture that they have.
Hey, man, I'm trying to be on the bright side. And give us a little credit. Give us a little something. So let's just go ahead and get into it, you guys. A lot of people are trying to digest what happened yesterday during the game when, we thought that we were going to be able to beat this Cardinals team that came in at 5-0, rolling on all cylinders. Pretty much the national media thought we would be able to win as well as Vegas, who had us as 3-point favorites at home. And we lost by way more than 3 points, and it pretty much was never there from when it began. Cleveland Kate, go ahead and elaborate.
I didn't feel like from the kickoff that team had their head in that game. I don't know if there should have been a certain amount of intensity and a certain amount of attitude when you have a 5-0 team coming into your house to play without their head coach because he's home with COVID, without their offensive coordinator. Kyler Murray's a little bit banged up from the last few weeks. There should have been dogs showing up for that game. And mentally, they were not ready for that game. And I think is what surprised me more than anything, because that has not been a problem since we've had Kevin Stefanski as our head coach. They have been mentally ready for games. And I just never felt like they settled into any kind of a rhythm yesterday.
From the very beginning?
From the very beginning.
What happened? Because I got to the stadium a little late. Well, not that much late, but when I got there was already 7 points on the board. How did they get those 7 points up?
7, and then another 7, and then another, and then it was just like all of a sudden it was like, whoa. And then I got to be rooting for a Michigan kid to dig me out of that mess. I mean, girl, I don't know what to tell you. The secondary was awful yesterday. Guys, Green and Hopkins shouldn't have been anywhere near the balls that they were catching yesterday. They were getting wide open looks. I don't know. I know we didn't have Chubb, but you've still got Felton. You still had Hunt till, late in the fourth quarter when he got hurt. Your running game never looked good. Maybe we just haven't given Chubb enough credit for what he brings to the lineup. I just figured as long as we still had Hunt, we'd be fine. You got Felton to give him, a little bit of a break and to take some of the reps off him. But even the defense just looked very discombobulated yesterday. And that I didn't get that at all because, since they've switched to this cover defense, I feel like they've really
against a team that was down their architect of their offense. So you're down your head coach, you're down the second guy, you're down your quarterback coach who's second in charge. And then, you lose to a team that essentially had Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, and an unknown guy calling plays. That right there is unacceptable. You know, that's just the start. You know, I feel like I can't accept the injury excuse too much. You know, there's teams out there, the Baltimore Ravens, Tampa Bay, that when guys go down, it's next man up mentality. So I don't want to hear about, oh, we're down 2 linemen. That's fine. Okay. I mean, I get that they're starters, but at the end of the day, in the preseason, I saw a team that rarely played the starters. You know, it was a lot of second, third, and guys who probably not on the team now. I saw them playing that. So that showed me that this team has depth. Where's that depth? You mean to tell me on this Browns team, we got about 22 to about 25 guys that can actually play on this team. The other 30 guys just can't play. That's unacceptable, man. We ran Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt into the ground, like me and you already said, Rachel, that we thought they were going to do. We ran both of those guys into the ground, and we can't throw the ball past 20 yards. You know, like I had higher expectations than what I thought. I didn't see us losing to both the Chargers and the Cardinals. You know, we got the Cardinals, we got Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert walking out of Cleveland with pre-made Hall of Fame busts. They already getting their names engraved on MVP trophies the way they looking here. So I usually don't come on Mondays, but today I just had to come on because I just was upset about what I saw out there. You know, today one of the players, I think it was John Johnson III, pretty much said, I told you yesterday, I left in the third quarter. I seen the team give up in the third quarter. I couldn't watch it no more. And then you had John Johnson today come on saying that basically, in so many words, the team gave up. You know, we can't have that here, man. We can't have a team that have championship expectations from fans, media, and everything else playing like, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Menor could have beat them. Menor could have put up 60 points on them on Sunday the way they was playing. This team looked horrible.
Cleveland K, do you feel like this team gave up?
Absolutely. And there's no reason for that. We proved already this season that this offense can put points on the board. There's, you know, you weren't down by that. You were down by what, 8 points at one point, I think it was in the third quarter. You can come back from that in the fourth quarter. You can come back from 8. This team is good enough to do that. And instead, you just let the whole game get away from you. As soon as they had a good play, you let that defeat you even more. And, you know, like I said, I've seen more mental toughness since we've had Stefanski than I saw yesterday. I was very surprised by it. And I will echo, you know, Marshawn's sentiments about next man up in depth. You knew all week that you were going to be down 2 linemen. You know, it's not like you lost Jedrick Wills in the middle of the game and suddenly had to get somebody in there. You had all week of practice knowing these guys were going to be missing and you're going to be stepping up and filling their shoes. So there was no reason for those injuries to have an effect on Sunday.
I tell you this before you jump in, Rachel. I pray Kevin Stefanski hears this comment right here. Stop going for it on 4th down early in the game. We've done it
like
3
that,
weeks
though. I
in
like
a
being
row.
aggressive.
Why? Take the points. We was at the 9-yard line. At some point, you got to coach smartly. You can't coach over aggressive. Like you know with that. You know what that reminds me of. And you feel free to agree with me or not. It feels like the guy who's just overly aggressive but can't fight. Come on, now you going for it every time. Like at some point, we got a kicker out there. This is the first time in some years since probably Phil Dawson been around that I have no worries about the kicker, and we don't use them. That's crazy to me.
I like the aggression on 4th down because it used to work. It was working. Now all of a sudden it's not working anymore. And, you know, Odell got to catch a ball and wrestle it away when you at 4th and 4. You know, last week he just straight up dropped it. And this week it was in his hands, right?
Yeah, that man.
Absolutely. But Rachel, that you got to find balance. There's a risk and a reward to going for it on 4th down. When you're on the 9-yard line and you have no points on the board, you need to get points on the board. When you're at like the 30 and then, you know, or you know, and maybe it's a sketchy field goal based on the yards, or you're not giving them that good a field position. Maybe you go for it then, but I don't mind him going for it on 4th downs in the right situations. But in some of those yesterday, we should have taken the points.
Well, now the analytics have changed, so they might not be going for it on 4th down so much. Because remember, they were going by what analytics said and what the numbers say, and that pretty much, you know, concluded whether or not they went for it. But now they're not getting it. So you guys think that that's going to change and they're not going to be as aggressive since they're not converting?
Absolutely. You have to be. You got to use I mean, don't get me wrong, statistics, analytics, that was always one of my favorite things to learn in school. But come on now, it's got to be some common sense behind it. You got to have some type of common sense behind what you're doing. At the end of the day, Odell Beckham told us last week his hands was like Purell, 99.9% effective. Yesterday, I didn't see that. I seen that 0.10 ineffective. Come on now, man. Like he had on he did his prima donna moment yesterday with his cleats. The blah blah blah. Y'all need to shut. He was sending them a sign to all of us. Y'all need to shut up and just stop the trade rumors.
What does cleat say?
Blah blah blah.
Oh.
So that to me said y'all need to just shut up and let me do me. We letting you do you, but you dropping crucial passes, man. It's like I posted a tweet yesterday. Anytime Odell tries to catch the ball with one hand, it just slaps him in the face. Like that's crazy to me. Like Odell Beckham, a guy who posts videos all over the summer, just catching any and everything. But when we need you to catch something, you can't.
Okay, how do you feel about the performance of OBJ?
I'm waiting for it. He hit him right in the hands yesterday. Couldn't have been a better pass on, Baker's side of things, and he dropped it. And usually I can figure out why, is he already starting to run downfield? Because I always yelled at him, you got to catch the ball before you get your yards after catch. I didn't see him doing that either. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he had too much Purell on his hands. I don't know. From an analytics standpoint, they have to factor in, the missed ones that we went for it and didn't get it. Those have to be factored in. The injuries have to be factored in. I will be very surprised if we go for it at all, let alone more than maybe twice in this game coming up on Thursday night against Denver. There has to be a lot of pressure in that coach's room right now to game plan this right, to do things that the team can do that will be successful early, to get them some confidence after this loss, and to get off to a good start. Because we've been playing Denver on the road for the last few years. We finally got them at home. It's a short week. There's all kinds of things going on with the injuries and whatnot. So I don't see them being reckless this week. I see them taking the points whenever they have an opportunity to get points on the board.
Yeah, because pretty much this is a must-win game. Baker said their backs are against the wall, but he likes their chances. They have to beat this team in order to continue to have any championship aspirations. Because remember, I said 14-3. So right now we're already at our win total, our loss amount for me to feel that I feel comfortable with. So I had that prediction. So we can't lose any more games at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the schedule doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, I did.
Our schedule's brutal all year.
I did a schedule game on the way here. I played one on my own.
I mean, we got Detroit. There's one win.
The Browns would need to go 8-3.
They can beat Pittsburgh.
I don't know, Rachel. With this defense that the Steelers is running out there, and
the way they played yesterday, I don't know
Yeah.
if they can beat Cincinnati, let alone Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Cincinnati got some receivers. There's no easy wins for us in this division, Rachel. All 4 teams, including us, are tough teams to play against. Everybody. We're not going to just beat up on Baltimore. I don't see us beating up on Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh still feel like they're the bigger brother. And then Cincinnati is sneaky good. To me, Joe Burrow is what I would love for my quarterback to be right now.
And he ain't doing it. So we got to take a break right quick. And we'll finish off this conversation. We're going to be talking Browns pretty much this whole hour. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Black Secretary of State has passed away at age 84. According to his family, Powell died of complications from COVID-19, despite being fully vaccinated, but he also had multiple myeloma and Parkinson's disease. A soldier for 35 years, Powell rose to the rank of 4-star general and became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in 1989 for 4 years. Born in Harlem, New York in 1937, Powell was raised in South Bronx, where he graduated from Morris High School in 1954. He earned a bachelor's degree in geology from the City College of New York while part of the school's ROTC program. He also earned a Master of Business Administration degree from George Washington University and received a commission as Army Second Lieutenant upon graduating. Among his many awards and achievements, General Powell received the Defense Distinguished Service Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters, the Army Distinguished Service Medal with an oak leaf cluster, the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice, in 1991 and in 1993 with distinction, and the Purple Heart. In 1997, he opened the Colin Powell Center of Public Studies at his alma mater, the City College of New York, and worked with students as chairman of America's Promise, the Alliance for Youth. General Colin Powell is survived by his wife, Alma Vivian Johnson Powell, and their 3 children, Michael, Linda, and Annie Marie. Thank you, General Colin Powell, for your service to the United States of America.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, you're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And I'm here with Cleveland Kate, as usual, on our Monday. And I'm here with Marshawn Powers in studio. And you guys, so let's talk about, what do you guys want to tackle first? The coaching, the offense, defense, or Baker? Which one do you want to take first? Do a poll.
Let's do Baker. Let's do Baker. Only because I want Chris Styles to hear everything I gotta say about his favorite
Uh-oh. Kate, you up for this? Because I know you love you some
Let's
Baker.
go.
So.
Let's go.
All right, Kate,
okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well,
You can love someone and be real about their faults.
Exactly. You know, I'm going to say this. You know, our quarterback needs to be accurate. He's our as long as he's playing for this team, I got to claim him. You know, that's like that cousin that you don't want to claim, but you got to claim anyway. So I feel like Baker Mayfield needs to be more accurate. You know, the shoulder, don't get me wrong. I think there's some damage. He probably going to need surgery after the season is already over. He got an MRI today. He's getting a second opinion. Anytime somebody gets a second opinion, that's bad news to me. You know, but I can't. The shoulder looked fine when he threw up that Hail Mary to DPJ. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to need him to be a little bit more accurate. I'm going to give him, normally Baker gets about 35, 40% of the blame, but Sunday, I'm going to slim that down to about 15 to 20%. I don't think he was the main cause, but he has some fault. You know, 3 turnovers of your own, trying to maneuver through the pocket. You overthrew Hollywood Higgins with a pick, you know, and man,
you only give him 15% of the blame?
Yeah, because a lot of the blame is on the defense. A lot of the blame, the defense essentially just said, we ain't playing no more after halftime. They got their game checks. And you know,
let's finish Baker before we start piling on the defense.
But in my opinion, I just feel like, you know, there was times where I seen Odell Beckham open, Baker didn't hit him in tight windows, you know. I just kind of feel like, man, am I ready to push the eject button and get him out of here? No, but man, it's getting close. My finger is itching. Because I just feel like, man, like I've been saying, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you don't need a good quarterback. Baker's a good quarterback. You need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Good quarterbacks ain't winning you Super Bowls no more. You need somebody elite to get you and win that.
Cleveland Cake.
Well, I would submit that you can win the Super Bowl with a good quarterback because I've seen it happen. You need to have a great defense, and we don't have a great defense, so we're going to need a great quarterback. I got 2 issues with Baker yesterday. Number one, I don't know where he's at in his head, but he's back to where he was last year with, I got to do everything all the time instead of letting things come to him. He's not seeing the field like he was earlier this year. And my other issue with Baker, so that's mental. My other issue with Baker has to do with the difference between playing hurt and playing injured. You can play hurt and you can still get the job done. But when you are playing injured, you are costing your team a chance to win. He should not be playing. That shoulder is messing up everything. His accuracy has gone completely out the window, and I'm willing to blame it on the shoulder. But then you need to rest up. You need to let Case Keenum come in and take a game and do something so that you can get right. Because this whole macho man of I'm fine, I can play is not, it's affecting his accuracy, and it's affecting it bad. And either he needs to figure out that it's the injury and let it heal, or they need to work with the quarterback's coach or whoever else and figure out what the problem was, because he can be accurate and he has not been. Yesterday was the worst of the season, but there have been a couple other games in the last 2 weeks, the Chargers game, and then even in the Minnesota game that we won, there were some sketchy throws in there that I was blaming on the shoulder. I'm like, you know what? It's not his throwing arm, but it's like throwing his balance off, or it's in his head. He's thinking about it, like Rachel, when you twist an ankle and you're getting better, but then you kind of favor it when you're walking and you kind of go a little lighter on it.
Like my knee right now.
Yeah. So I think he's afraid of hurting that other shoulder, and it's affecting the way he plays. When you are hurt, you can man through that. You can muscle through it. You can be like, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be a bad apple, whatever word you want to say, and I'm gonna get it done. But when you are injured, you risk damaging your team and hurting yourself even worse. And I think that's part of the issue we have going on right now. I'm always going to be a Baker fan. I'm always going to think that he has the talent and the ability to be what we need at quarterback. It's just a matter of if he can get there, if he can get himself there. And I thought he made great strides last year with Kevin Stefanski. I thought he was the right coach for Baker to get Baker where he needs to be. But he's been sliding backwards the last few weeks, and I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, because I think I've said this to both of you guys. I felt like when it was first announced that he was injured, or he was hurt, he should have been sat and let Case Keenum come in and give him a few weeks and let that shoulder, heal up, so we wouldn't be at this point that we're at now. Do you guys think that he out there seeing ghosts right now?
No, I don't think he's seeing ghosts. I think he's like Cleveland K said, I just think he's out there playing injured, and I think the injury is getting to him. I think it's getting to him kind of mentally. He felt like he got to be Captain America and save this team, when you really don't. This team can. We can win with Case Keenum. I feel like I don't see.
DJ Kristoff.
I think
the danger.
Listen. Case Keenum won in Minnesota, did he not? With Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen.
Yep.
Did he not win? Did I not see that happen? What makes you believe he can't do that with two better receivers, a better line, a deeper wide receiver room, and a deeper tight end room, and a defense that could possibly step up if they want to? I don't see no reason why Case can't win with that.
Yeah, he's not my long-term answer, but he's a damn fine backup to put in for a couple weeks. He's smart. He doesn't turn the ball over. As long as your defense is doing their job, you can, especially Thursday night against Denver. He should be starting and Baker should be resting. Let him get, 2 weeks of rest in. We're about to start playing teams in our division. All right? Mm-hmm. Those are games that matter to me. If you're not going to win the division and go to the playoffs and get me to the Super Bowl, I want to at least be 3-3 in my division. And I'm feeling a little concerned that we're going to be able to pull off 3-3. So I would like Baker 100% before we got to start playing division games.
Because we need to be at least 12-5 to get the wild card, right?
Yeah. Well, no, minimum games we would need to win is 11 games. That's the minimum we have to win to even talk playoffs. 10, I don't think 10 wins would do it this year.
I was going to say, I think
wins,
maybe 10 might do it just because a couple other teams in the AFC got off to some rocky starts. But I think you're right. By the time we get to Thanksgiving, we're going to be able to see the writing on the wall, and it's going to take 11 or 12 games to get the wild card.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As far as I was a little sick at the game yesterday. As far as what I can remember,
is that what we're calling it?
That's exactly what we're calling it. I was not well,
okay.
And from Baker, the whole team, but there wasn't a lot of it, Baker's decision making and things like that. The high quality product that we're used to from him, it just wasn't there yesterday. And one of the things was you have to give the Cardinals, some credit because they schemed for that, and they even had their head coach. Cliff Kingsbury had COVID, just like when Kevin Stefanski had COVID, but they schemed for that and they were able to pull it off. So they've been able to see Baker's hurt, see the weaknesses, see the accuracy issues. And, it was a perfect formula for them to be successful. We're going to get into, some of the other parts. Yes, we can hear you, DJ Chris Styles.
I can't hear him. It's probably a good thing because he's probably saying things to irritate me.
I'm gonna say, realistically, and this is me being realistic, at least 68%. I'm gonna say that.
He said, what completion percentage do we think the quarterback should be at, Kate?
70.
And Kate said 70.
I'd say 68 to 70 is what I said.
And DJ Chris Styles said that's where he's been at. But we can talk about his flaws too and what he hasn't done correctly.
But it's not just the overall percentage. It's the game situation. It don't do you any good to complete passes on first, second, and third down if you got a punt because you didn't get your 10 yards.
How many touchdowns though? 2-to-1 ratio.
The offense is not schemed for Baker to throw a lot of passes, Kate. He said it's not.
I agree.
He said, well, we got to throw our routes and schemes are predictable.
So my question to you is, do you think the reason why Stefanski hasn't schemed his offense is it because of trust? But Kirk Cousins is out there balling. He's looking like an MVP, a dark horse MVP candidate.
We're a run-based offense.
That ain't gonna get you nowhere.
You said it works when the defense is great. Right now, the defense is not good. But I'm doing that, and you said turn it off, right? She can't. Oh, I do. Okay, hold on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
There we go, Kate.
Oh.
There we go. What I was saying, Kate, was it was basically Stefanski offense where it's built up. So it's not built for Baker or for any quarterback to get busy. That we see other offenses, like if you talk about the Chiefs, you talk about the Buffalo, talk about things like that. They're not run based; they're pass first offense. Their run is just to sustain the defense. We are really run based, and most of his great passes come off play action, and that's what a lot of the scheme comes in at. We're not schemed up very well when we go 4 wide, 5 wide. They're not great routes.
Oh, I agree.
And I think that's the issue. That's why when the people say, well, we can't have Odell Beckham, he's not doing X, Y, and Z. Well, Beckham is handcuffed in this offense because he only can run what they give him.
Mhm.
That's an issue.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And they're not scheming the play. They're not writing and drawing up the plays to take advantage of the things that Baker does well and to take advantage of the types of wide receivers and tight ends that we do have. They got away from that. And I'm fine with being a run-based offense, but you have to mix it up or that defense is just going to put 10 in the box and you're never going to be able to run the ball. You've got to be able to pass a little bit to at least back that defense up. And they're not even drawing up plays and scheming that well. They're not surprising them at all.
Nope, and I agree with you. And if we go way back to last year to that Dallas game where we went 5 wide, right? You can see when start opening up the a little bit more. That during that second half of the season. And I was waiting. I thought in the beginning of this year we were going to open it up a little bit more. I think part of it didn't open because Odell wasn't back yet. And I think they didn't do it. Then Landry went down. And so now I think they say, okay, we're going to be as conservative as possible, try to win our defense. The problem, the defense is not stopping anybody like they're supposed to. The offense is there to go 5 wide, is there to open it up. I just think the injuries is piling on and is preventing Stefanski to doing what he need to do. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it's right or not, but I think this is a coaching thing. It's not as much of the players thing. I think it's a scheme thing right now.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. We'll see if Landry comes back, if that helps anything. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It may not be right, but it feels right. I can't argue with you on it.
It feels right. I know that's right.
I mean, they already started in the chat room, Rachel. Freddie Henderson says it's time for OBJ to go. You know that conversation's starting. You know, the other problem is you let Case Keenum start on Thursday against Denver, and God forbid we win. Then I'm going to have to listen to Friday. Everybody saying we need to get rid of Baker and keep Keenum. We like to talk about this crazy stuff in this town. And I'm concerned that the way we like to talk about things is starting to influence some of the coaching decisions. Cause I'm having some issue with the coaching right now.
Here's the thing. I have friends out in Philly who would love to have Baker Mayfield over who they got now.
Over
Jalen Hurts.
Over Jalen Hurts, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man.
You don't. I'm telling you, but they said that it's like we'd rather take him because they know the value of it. If you see Jalen, you see Baker. Baker is better than Jalen, and they are starch Eagle fans.
I don't. Here's the thing with Jalen Hurts. I feel like if Jalen Hurts had a team with better weapons, his best receiver is his college receiver. What do he have outside of that? He got an average running back with Miles Sanders. You got a decent tight end, and that's it. You don't have a number 2. You don't have a good slot receiver. You don't have anything else. You put him in Cleveland, and you put Baker in Philly.
One of the best weapons he had, they traded to Arizona when they got rid of Zach Ertz. I understand where they're coming from because we have lived through those years of not having a quarterback or having to deal with a rookie. But I honestly think that Jalen Hurts' ceiling is higher than Baker's. If he is on the right team with the right weapons, kid is stupid good. They just need to have some patience and let him develop and wait for them to build a team around him.
Nah, this is Philly. That's why I love Philly. That's Philly. Philly said, nope, you go now. Either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it.
Yep.
Right. And I think the problem with us as being Cleveland fans is this is a question. I got Jay Crawford coming on later on tonight. And the question I'm going to ask you, Kate, everybody else. For us being 20 years so patient and we have success the last 2 years, has that made us become impatient?
I don't think it's impatient. I think it's we all let our expectations get so big for this year that we didn't want to think about things like injuries and the other things that we've seen happen that have kind of derailed us at this point. We didn't expect, I didn't expect Cincinnati to be this good. I didn't expect the Cardinals. I knew the Cardinals would be good. I didn't expect them to be 6-0. So we didn't take in all the other factors. We allowed our expectations to get us up so high. Then we go on a 3-game winning streak, and we're 3-1, and we are full of ourselves, and we are reading our own press, so to speak. And I think it's not, like I said, it's not so much impatient. It's that we bought into everything that we were told, and we really let our expectations get out of control. And so now we're being brought down to earth. We're being reminded that refs make bad calls, that unlucky things happen. All of these other things that are factoring into why the Browns are now 3-3. It's hitting hard because we expected something different out of this season. I think there were people who thought, like I was nervous with 13 wins. Rachel's like 14. And there are other people that were, 13, 14 all day. And it's like, but then there's the reality of football and what happens, right? Kansas City fans didn't think they'd be sitting where they're at right now, So it was just, I think, an expectation thing more than an impatience.
No, I agree. I mean, well, as far as expectations, I feel like there's nothing wrong with having championship expectations. Like my question to all three of y'all, what are y'all expectations of the Browns? Do y'all want the Browns to be just better than what we were the past 20 years, or do y'all want to win a Super Bowl? Because I want to win a Super Bowl. I don't want to just be better than what we saw. I don't care about the last 20 years. That's a blur to me. I'm trying to win it all, So I feel like, if we have a 6-0 roster, but we got 3-3 on paper. And I mean, but we're 3-3 now. So
I was trying to temper my expectations and take it in baby steps.
Yeah.
I wanted to win the division this year. We got into the playoffs as a wild card last year. We won a game. And I thought, that's good. Now I need to go into the playoffs as a division champ. I want to win our division. Yeah. And then next year we'll talk about, moving up to that next step, because you've got a couple veterans in this team, but you also have a lot of young guys who need to learn. Last year was their first time in the playoffs. They need to learn how to win a division, how to win tough games, how to play for 60 stupid minutes. I'm still not seeing them play the entire, even in those games that we won, there were a couple where I'm like, y'all were slacking. You're lucky you won those. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned to get to where they can win a Super Bowl. Realistically, I just really wanted to win the division this year. That was like if anything after we won the division would have been gravy for me.
I agree with Kate. I agree just because I just had a conversation with one of my buddies about that. I said, we realistically don't have anybody on the team who had been in this spot before. Not one person. Not one person on this team that's been in that spot, who's been in that winning organization and know how to do it.
You don't think
they say, nah.
Would you say John Johnson? I mean, he was with the Rams. The Rams haven't been, since he's been in, they haven't been bad.
Guy, though. Yeah. I'm talking about a guy who's been consistently, like we take a guy from a winning program organization who's been doing it and bring him here like, nah, this is how you do it. You're going to come into these rust spots. This is what's going to happen. I want us to be a team that consistently being able to compete. I just don't want a one-off. I don't want to get there, get close, get to the Super Bowl, whether you win or you lose, and never get back. I want a team that is consistently winning and threatening that could get there. Some years we may get there, some years we may not get. I would love to have dare I say it, Steelers, dare I say it, Raiders, dare I say it, the New England Patriots, like teams that are consistently in the playoffs where you in the dance all the time. Like, you have to be able to get to the dance all the time before you can win it, right? Because you don't know how to win it until you get to the dance consistently.
That's where I think yesterday upset me so much, Chris, is because the other games we lost were a lot closer. We were in them. So I'm like, all right, we figured out how to play. We're going to come up against good teams. We're going to be in it. And eventually we'll figure out how to get past that last hurdle and actually win those tough games. Yesterday, we weren't in it.
No.
We took a huge step back from that aspect yesterday. And I think that's why I'm so upset. If we'd have lost 37-30, I might be feeling better about things today than I am with us losing the way we did yesterday. Because I just feel like they lost so much of the ground that we had picked up this year.
Going to have, I looked at it, I said, oh, okay. All right, these boys is playing. Again, this was what coaching comes into it. At that point, Stefanski needs to get a little bit more creative and figure out how we get the scoring real quick. Defense need to make a stop. Then we need to go ahead and score and get busy.
Hey, but you notice they schemed for the Hail Mary against the Chargers and didn't get it. They got it on yesterday. They got the Hail Mary that they schemed for.
Yeah.
Oh, you know they had tip drills this week. I'm sure that was part of practice. Was Hail Mary drills.
I'm like, they schemed for it and actually got it.
But it should be, because if the defense is going to let people score 30, 40 points and you're going to end up in a shootout every week, Hail Mary drills need to be part of your regular practice.
Yeah. I thought we had a chance up until, I want to say, that second drive of the third quarter. Then that's when I was like, it's lights out. Defense comes out first drive of the second half. We shut out. We stopped the Cardinals. I'm thinking, okay, we figured it out. After that, man, they just started breaking. AJ Green looked like he had.
I was going to say, was that the drive he hit Green on, and then he hit Hopkins later? But I think it was that one to Green where I was just like, yeah, and that's it. Like I just knew. I
got to agree with Chris Styles is saying on one thing though. I didn't think about it till now. AJ Green knows what it takes to beat on us. He practically, besides Ben Roethlisberger, got probably the second most wins against the Cleveland Browns. Not lying. So he probably told them, like, look, this is the Browns, man. I know the best restaurants to eat. I know where to get the best massages, so we ready. And then we just go get down that first energy and get up out of here. So I gotta agree with that, man. We don't have that vet that just can shape up this team,
Yeah, y'all, we got to take a break really quick, okay? So we're going to be right back with this conversation. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Just having fun.
Ooh, we so behind on that break.
Yeah, no offense, but what were we just listening to?
Oh, just something my previous writer wanted to hear. Want something else?
Yeah, actually, for sure. Can you switch that station to 95.9 FM, please?
Yeah, for sure. What kind of station is this?
What? You're not hit to 95.9 FM, BBC Community Radio? They have so many good shows. Whether it's a talk show, music show, it's so much good information on this station.
Yeah, I'll have to keep the dial right here then, since I drive so many different walks of life every day.
I literally listen every day and find out something new. Whether it's something for myself, my community, or just something that's going on in the city.
Yeah, thanks. I'll keep it locked right here on WOVU 95.9 FM.
Good, because I'm sure you and all your other writers would love this station just as much as I do.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and we are back having a very spirited and lively conversation about the Cleveland Browns and their game yesterday. And I guess, can we say that we're all in agreement regarding Kevin Stefanski is actually regressing as a coach?
Yes.
Do you guys feel that way as well?
Absolutely. I'll say this. Cleveland Kate, feel free to tell me I'm wrong. If you have my man Hugh Jackson with this team right now, I'm not going to say what our record's going to be, but I know for certain.
Kate got her hand over her face right now. You can't see it.
Listen,
know she got a fat diamond ring too.
I always tell people this. If you gave Kevin Stefanski, Cody Kessler, and Deshaun Kaiser, I'm pretty sure he'd have went 0-16. My man, if we would still have my man, the great American Hugh Jackson, the man who loved the Browns more than he loved himself, we would not be.
Did you say the great American?
You are right. You are absolutely right. We'd be 0-6.
No, come on, Kate, no. I don't believe it now.
Other offensive jobs yet?
Yeah, he coaching Tennessee State. No.
All right. Has Baker won a game against the Cardinals?
Never.
Has he beaten Kyler Murray? He's 0 for 2, right?
Yeah, 0 for
with Stefanski with both of them, right? He was a coach for both of them, or
yeah.
Okay.
Coach is regressing. Coach don't regress. Coach don't regress. That doesn't happen, Coach. You don't regress.
So what is he doing then?
You got to reevaluate what he's putting. What it is. It's a
He's
three-part.
not making adjustments.
That's what it is.
He's not making the adjustments. I agree. He hasn't regressed. He just hasn't had a lot of experience in making the kind of adjustments that you need to make when you deal with injuries like he has, when you deal with a quarterback like Baker. Every quarterback's different. He dealt with different quarterbacks in Minnesota than he's dealing with here. He's got to figure out how to make the adjustments on the coaching side to get Baker over whatever his issue is. So he just needs to figure out his adjustments.
What I learned as an offensive coordinator, which is weird, you got to fit. You don't fit the player into your system. You kind of fit your system around the player, right? So you got
you should
best, and then figure out what does your quarterback do best. What do your players, not just your quarterback, because they affect all your players too. What do they do best so it fits, complements everybody a skill set? And right now, he got to look or say, okay, how can we complement his skill set? Because two things. He doesn't move around a lot. He's not fast. He's not fast. He can move, but he's not fast. So you got to drop him back a little bit deeper. You got to make these routes a little bit easier so he can be able to see outside the pocket or sit inside the pocket. You got to, your blocking scheme got to be different so the pocket widens out. There's a few quarterbacks that are 6'6" that's in the league, but their offense is geared to them so it helps them out. So Stefanski needs to trust himself. I've been through, not on that level, but I've been through it of, I'm going to stick to these guys, I'm going to do this because I just know it feels safe. Man, don't coach safe, man. You coach to win. You're not coaching safe. You got to coach.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Baker's short. I don't care. He's short. That's fine. You can win with the short quarterback. Doug Flutie won. Drew Brees ain't all that tall. You can win with Baker, but you got to give him lanes. You got to have the blocking schemes, like you said, set up so that he can see where he needs to see when he needs to see there.
Yep. There you go. That's it. He got to do it, though. He got to get away from, this is his team. He got to understand, like, this is your team. You don't got to scheme up like you did in Minnesota, right? Scheme up for what you have. Like, you are able to make them changes. Nobody's going to be mad. You are the head coach. You're not listening to anybody else.
Right. You
make it happen. You listen and be like, okay, we need to do X, Y, and Z, and it can happen. Because you have the players to make it happen.
Well, and this plays into, I'm looking at the chat room here on StreamYard, and Anthony asked if Baker's going to earn his money for next year. And that's really going to depend on Kevin Stefanski and how he adjusts the scheming for the offense. And if he starts designing and calling plays that play to Baker's strengths, that's how Baker's going to earn the paycheck that he wants for next year.
One thing I will say, one thing I would like for Stefanski to be creative as far as when it comes to Baker. Stop putting him under center so much. Put him in the gun a little bit. Put him in the gun.
Love him in the good call.
Yeah, I barely ever. How often do we see Baker in the gun? Rarely.
He needs to. That's where he plays his best. I think he sees the field a lot better when he's in a gun instead of you dropping him back. And that's what a lot of the quarterbacks. If you watch a lot of the quarterbacks who come out of these new offense, right? They're not coming from under center all the time, dropping back, right?
But does that play into the fact that he does better? He did better at least last year and this year out of play action than out of the shotgun or the pistol. And does it take away hiding your running game from the defense if he's in the shotgun?
So it's a tough question. So the play action worked because play action. Once you go to play action, it is really 1, 2, 3 read. That's it. It's a 1, 2, 3 read. Those are set routes. You can't deviate from them. And you just know the defense is going to do this when you do this, right?
Yeah.
When he's in a shotgun, he's able to see the whole field and see when the guy's going to shift, when he's going to move, and you know what route's coming. I think that's an easier read for him. It's a harder read when you cater from under center and you drop it 1, 2, 3 because your eyes got to move. Well, that's kind of tough if you haven't been doing that all your life. And that's so when you watch the guys from these spread offense, you don't see them drop it back a lot. You don't see them with the 1, 2, 3s. You see them in shotgun because they are able to read the field that way and look at it. Now, would it take away from our run game? It will. It will. But that's the game you got to play in the NFL. What team are you going to be? Either you're going to be a team where you have these run plays that just complement the passing game, or you're going to be a run-based team with passing complementing your running. I'm sorry that the NFL came that way, but that's kind of what you're looking at.
Why not?
Yeah. I think the other thing we forget. I think the other thing we forget is that Baker has only been dealing with a playbook like this for a couple years in the NFL. In Oklahoma, they didn't have a playbook. He was drawing crap up in the sand on the sidelines, like in the dirt. They were like, just hit me like it was a pickup game or something. This whole system of plays and the way they do things in the NFL, like I get it, it's his third year, but he didn't have a bunch of years of college doing that to back this up. So it's all really different for him, and I think he slid back a little bit this year. Hopefully they'll figure it out and he can start moving forward again.
Yeah, I think he'll move forward. Absolutely. At this point, the only option that they have is to grow and go up. And like y'all said, the scheming has to be better. Like, one of the things about everybody saying Odell and Baker don't have this chemistry, but who's calling the plays? It's Kevin Stefanski. So if you're not calling plays to Odell, you're not building that chemistry. So, I had to step back and realize, unfortunately, some of the stuff is Kevin Stefanski, and that's that learning and growing process that he is going through. So,
Well, Rachel, I know you and I have talked about this before. We talked about how Peyton Manning would pick a receiver and just keep hitting him over and over and over again until the defense took him away and then moved on. Tom Brady used to do the same thing in New England. Why don't they do that with Baker? If he's hitting Higgins, just keep throwing to Higgins until the defense takes it away. We don't have to throw to 6 different receivers in a game.
I would prefer him to throw it to that Michigan man. That Michigan man.
We can throw it to DPJ. If he can hit the 11, I'm fine with that. Pick somebody and just, if you're hitting him, if you two are connecting and today you're like we're on a bead, man. I got you. Everywhere you are, I got you. Then keep hitting him until the defense takes him away and then move on to somebody else. Don't get too cute with it. Don't spread it around because you think that's cute and you have to do it. If the defense is going to give you a certain player or a certain route, just keep taking it.
No, DJ Chris Styles, don't go nowhere because we're going to talk about your man Colin Sexton in a minute. Don't go too far.
Colin Sexton slander.
We didn't even get to the defense, y'all.
Colin Sexton crimes.
Yeah, well, they had until 6 o'clock to sign him to a long-term deal.
And?
That did not happen.
6:52.
We have got no notification.
So
we're going to say him for the last 5 minutes, but Chris is, say no calf slander, which isn't calf slander. It's just, okay, what are they going to do about the situation? And they kind of, made a statement with not signing him to a long-term deal. Really quick, we got 7 minutes left. Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about some of the issues that we had yesterday. Marshawn, you want to take this first?
For once, I don't have no issues with the defensive line. Miles didn't really have Miles did have did Miles have a sack this game, or was it Jadeveon that had a sack?
I don't remember.
Well, the defensive line did what they were supposed to do. They shut Kyler Murray down to seven quarterback rushes for 6 yards. Mainly my whole issue this game was with the secondary. We signed Jaron Johnson to this nice deal. I ain't gonna say it was a massive deal. It was kind of a nice deal. He hasn't shown up. It was a blown coverage between him and Harrison, which is crazy. I feel crazy saying this, but so far through 6 games, I feel like Greedy Williams has been our best corner. Thought I would never say that. Been outplaying, Denzel. Newsom's been hurt, so I can't really say too much about him. Troy Hill, ain't been playing that well, but corner's got to be sharp against I was about to say Denver. Denver got some receivers.
Didn't Greedy get 8 up yesterday?
No, Greedy played a pretty good game.
No, Greedy did fine.
Yeah, he played a better game than Denzel.
I don't remember.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
but again, Greedy's coming off an injury, and he's supposed to be on a pitch count. And I think that because of the other injuries, the Newsom particularly, he's in there for more plays than they would like him to be in there for. I don't know that he's in good enough shape to play as many plays as they have him in there. He looked a little gassed in the 4th. Yeah. But yeah, I have not been impressed at all with Mr. Johnson III, considering what we paid him. You're right, it wasn't massive, but he got a very nice payday. Nobody else would have paid him what we paid him. I've expected to hear his name a little more and to see him have more of an impact on the game than he's had. I don't know. The secondary was a hot mess yesterday.
He was the third last season. He was the third rated safety, third highest rated safety. Right now, he's the third worst. Out of 170 safeties, he's ranked 167. Ooh. That's a massive drop-off. Yes. So it's either one or two things. It's either the scheme or the player. I don't think it's the player. I think it's the scheme. Because too many players on our defense having these drop-offs. Linebackers haven't really been good. JOK is now out with a high ankle sprain, so that means we're going to see more of Mr. Twitter Fingers himself, Mac Wilson. I think one of two things is going to happen. One of two things has to happen. Either A, Joe Woods is going to have to change some things around and change some schemes, or B, we're going to have to get rid of you, boss. Because I don't think right now with the scheme, the defensive scheme we got going on, that's going to get us to the playoffs. I really don't. I don't feel comfortable.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not.
30 in the past 3 games, we gave up an average 39.
Isn't that growing pains with this whole new defensive with running the cover 2 and cover 3 that he wants to run now instead of the zone and whatever other crap he ran last year? Yeah. I keep trying to give Joe Woods the benefit of the doubt and saying these players just have to get into the new scheme. They have to get behind it. They have to get comfortable with it. So that's why I'm part of yesterday. I'm kind of calling growing pains with the new defense, but maybe I shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful that we lost to the starting quarterback, the backup quarterback, and an unnamed person calling plays. Yeah. We lost to Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray calling the plays. It always be the former Browns that beats us and beats us bad too. I'm looking for a strong game this Thursday from the defense. Joe Woods, you're going up against a team that knows you, that knows your scheme, that you used to coach at. So I'm looking for. I need a strong game. I need the defense to will us this win. The offense right now is a little broken. I'm not sure what we're gonna get from it.
They both broken, offense and defense.
I'm looking for. I need the defense to rebound. I need John Johnson III to lead up. You calling the plays now, so you the defensive quarterback. So I'm gonna need you to do whatever you need to do. Take your bath before your game, your almond milk bath, whatever you do, and let's get to it, man.
Eat your green only M&Ms.
Let's get to it. Thursday, I'm not gonna be at the game Thursday. I'm gonna be downtown, so I'm watching it. I promise you, they're gonna hear me from wherever I am. I need this win. This is a must win on Thursday.
They need to make a statement on Thursday, one way or the other. What they do Thursday is going to tell me what to expect for the entire rest of the year. Are you going to fight or are you going to roll over?
Is you a cane corso or is you a poodle? That's what I'm asking.
Or a Presa Canario. Those are scary too. But yeah. A Presa Canario.
Cleveland cane. I don't know what she's talking about either. I just agree with it.
My cousin got both dogs, a cane corso. And
that sounds like a disease you pick up in Central America.
They're pretty hard.
I came back from vacation. I had a Presa Canario.
Yeah.
I had to go to the clinic and get a shot.
Those are hardcore, dogs. But, like you said, this team has to, every team is injured. Everybody got people hurt. They have to ride this out and they have to play almost flawless football. Right now, Denver is not a good team. They start off hot. They got to get a win against Denver.
I tell you this, there's one guy who I'm looking forward to see him play on Thursday. He's a practice squad player, Joe Kelly. The running back. Okay. I'm looking for it because he had a strong preseason. And I think even the right time with the defensive schemes we run, I think he's gonna have a strong game on Sunday if they let him play.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Thursday.
Yeah, quick turnaround team. But for Cleveland Kate, for Marshawn Powers, for DJ Chris Styles, I'm Rachel Hill, and you have been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here. Thank you, girlie. Thank you, Cleveland Kate. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Love you too. Mwah. Thank you for